With regards to pipeline management, I think we have to understand that, especially as a loan officer, your loans are going to go through a process in itself. And that process, lasts anywhere from 30 days to 60 days. And even in some cases, depending on where the market is, it can go upwards to 90 days before that loan closes. And our prospects, number one, is they are used to getting updates. And so I want you to have empathy when you're thinking about your own prospects. Think about how you shop and how you buy things. And even though they haven't, exchanged money yet at the point of us locking the deal and beginning the process, in their view, they technically have, because they've somewhat committed to you. And so I want you to think about how much we like to get updates. And so if you've ever ordered anything online, you get updates the entire way, right? You track it. You want to know exactly where it's at, the ETA of when it's going to come back. And this is how technology has kind of wired us as consumers whenever we transact money in exchange for a service or a product. And so why I bring this up is because it is very important that you have some sort of system to keep your prospects updated, because that's one of the primary reasons why you even need to manage your pipeline, is to make sure none fall out. A constant goal within our daily function is to continuously feed that pipeline, right? And in order to continuously feed that pipeline, you need to first have a handle on your pipeline. And so with regards to any loan that you feed into the pipeline, that pipeline is going to go through what's called milestones. And so in basic form, milestones is, from lock to origination to prep for processing. Processing preps the file, puts all the components from title to, escrow, all the details, income, credit, right? Everything needs to be buttoned up for underwriting, because underwriting is technically the final stop before it's actually okayed to go to documents. And we need that deal to go to documents because we need that deal to sign. And it doesn't go to documents unless it gets approved by underwriting. And so these little departments, I like to refer to it as a conveyor belt, because once you put a loan in your pipeline, it's kind of like a conveyor belt. And so it's going to go through these different stations that put the pieces together. Ultimately, the deal goes through certain milestones instead of stations. And so if you understand the milestone process, it's a little bit easier for you to manage. Because when a deal goes from processing to underwriting, it typically gets shot back to processing. And the reason for that is because your underwriter is giving it conditions. These conditions they're anywhere from prior to doc conditions, prior to approval conditions, prior to fund conditions. And it's important that you understand what these pieces are, and that your operations team are sufficient at what these details are.